As a kid, I remember telling my mom every year that I want to go see the snow. Snow? We are from Fiji. We are Indian Fijians. My whole family came from warm weather on a tropical island, and they moved to the Bay Area in California, where it doesn't snow. They didn't do snow. One day, I was telling this story to my coworkers, and so in January 2020, we decided to plan a trip to Tahoe. And so I went to Tahoe for my first time ever. I fell in love with the blankets of snow on the ground, so soft and so forgiving to play in. We even went snow tubing, and I had a blast. But I didn't get to see snow fall from the sky the way it did in the movies, but that was okay. Then the pandemic happened, and the world shut down. After that, I never revisited that specific vision to see the snow because I was too busy adulting. Well, cue my adult life. Work. I am fortunate enough that my work paid for us to go to conferences for our professional development. So that's how I started going to ACUI Annual, a conference of college unions across the entire United States, with a focus on community, inclusion, learning, and innovation. In 2023, I went to Boston, Massachusetts, which was my first time ever in the East Coast. I had a lot of fun trying the food there and visiting the aquarium. At the end of that conference, they announced the next year's location, Denver, Colorado. And that's how I ended up traveling to Denver for the first time ever in March 2024. Spoiler alert, I finally got to see snow fall from the sky. When we landed in Denver, it was sunny, and the drive to the airport showed a barren, uninteresting landscape. We were staying at the Sheraton Denver Downtown Hotel, where the ACUI Conference was also being hosted at. We kicked off with the conference festivities, but as the day progressed, Denver had a surprise for me. When we next went out in the lobby area, I saw snow was falling from the sky. I couldn't believe it. I walked outside, entranced by the white powder peppering the streets, and I stuck my hand out, amazed at the iciness that was building up. Conveniently, the Sheraton had a nice outdoor fireplace, so we sat outside, soaking in the snowy atmosphere while standing next to the fire, pretending that I wasn't freezing my butt off. Our hotel also had a yard house inside it, so we pretty much lived there for the rest of our trip. I loved staring out the window in the Uber, watching all the piles of snow around us. We played tourist in Denver, and it was a blast. We visited the Denver Art Museum, which is absolutely massive, given that it's 8 stories high. Now, before I left on this trip, a lot of people told me to prepare for altitude sickness at some point. Denver is much higher up than California, and this can be disorienting while the body adapts to the new altitude. Well, I didn't feel anything quite wrong in the beginning. We were at the museum and we got to check out some cool exhibits, including a whole area dedicated to different types of chairs. They also had some space exploration and a few different interactive activities for us. I love how friendly the museum felt, as opposed to a strict gallery of stopping and staring, like those 2 different floors in SF MoMA. As we went through each floor at some point, it hit me, the altitude sickness. I want to say it was about the 5th or 6th floor when I started to feel really dizzy, almost like a weight was being pressed on me. I felt somewhat nauseous, but also just suddenly so exhausted. I had to sit down for a while before adjusting, and even then, I felt really exhausted after. We wrapped up our museum trip and walked through the scenic Civic Center Park. It reminded me of the SF Civic Center, but much emptier and much cleaner. The air was so crisp as we walked through the streets of downtown. They also had a light rail, which was cool to see, but we didn't actually use public transportation during this trip. We spent a lot of days at our go-to coffee spot of the trip, Novo Coffee. Which brings me to the foodie breakdown. The Bezel bar is located inside the Sheraton in downtown Denver. Cute bar food, great charcuterie. West Saloon, also known as West of Surrender. Good food, they had a lot of great reviews, but my experience was just okay with it. Water Grill in downtown Denver, dope seafood spot. This was my first warm towels experience at a restaurant, and I was super hyped and I did really enjoy the oysters. Uchi Denver. Now this place was 10 out of 10. A really gorgeous Japanese restaurant. All the food was absolutely amazing, sashimi was high quality, and the level of service was excellent. It's a great restaurant to be bougie with your sushi at. and of course, Novo Coffee. 10 out of 10, great drinks, good environment, and a great pick-me-up throughout the whole entire trip. Next up on being a tourist, we went to the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, which took about 2 hours to get through the whole thing. They had a great orca exhibit and a cool gift shop too. Now personally, if I were to go back to Colorado, it would be to check out the Rocky Mountains, the parks, and the scenery. Being a tourist in Denver was fun, but it was time to head back to the land of the sun. I also got to say the Sheraton in downtown Denver was pretty nice. They had this cool quiet room and lots of nice lobby space for eating, drinking, lounging, and socializing. The hotel also had a quiet room in the lobby area, which was a nice little spot to study, and it really did a great job of blocking all sounds out.
The doors are closing. Please be clear and hold on for departure to all key gates.
One of my coworkers led us into the lounge at the airport, which was a first for me, and it was so nice in there. There were lots of to-go snacks, dine-in bites, and a bar to purchase drinks at. I also learned that I get access to the lounge through my Chase Sapphire RESERVE card. By the way, 10 out of 10, highly recommend the card. If you travel more than twice a year, the annual fee is literally paid off with the statement credit and the benefits it comes with. So I signed up for the Priority Pass to get access to airport lounges for my upcoming travel adventures. Overall, I enjoyed my Denver trip. For me, my favorite part was watching the snow fall all around me. It was so serene, and it felt so nice to have a life goal fulfilled while surrounded by good company. In the future, I would definitely plan more activities related to enjoying Denver's landscape, or rather the snowscape. I've yet to go snowboarding and skiing, so we'll see what city takes me there next. Until next time, Colorado.